Today, I thought we would go over some of the ochres, the siennas, and umbers. How many umbers did I pick out? Not many umbers, mostly ochres and siennas, because there's quite a few. And we would look at them. Some of them are synthetic, so I'll go over kind of as we go through a little bit about them, and then we will paint them out. So if you give me just a moment, I'm gonna take this message off. I will be right back. I'm gonna grab the colors out of the other room. Red, what do you have?
Yeah, so meantime, maybe we'll check what our fellow some of our brand ambassadors like Gio and Letty and Gabrielle, or who else? Let me check.
Jen has something to show us.
Nope, sorry, Jen already showed it. It's put away, sorry.
We will
Lies.
reserve it. No, we will reserve it, Gabrielle, for that color family.
Oh,
What do you have today, Gio? So this pre-mixed. Okay, let's put it on spotlight. Okay, John is back.
Okay, I go to the back room and grab the colors. So here in Seattle, we have a 92-degree day. And
So it's in Bulgaria, John.
same in
Very,
Bulgaria. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
very hot.
Next week it'll be in the 70s, which would be, I think absolutely beautiful. I could live without the 90 degrees.
The same, John. 41.
41. It's too hot.
Oh, God.
John, you just need to come up north. We're 10 degrees cooler.
Oh my gosh.
it's pretty tough in San Diego. We're 85.
Ah,
Okay, so let's see. First one's Monte Amiata. Have that one. We'll trust that one. The raw sienna, Pompeii red, rare green earth, and Terra Escalano. So let me mark these and I'll tell you about them as we use them. Okay. So raw sienna, our raw sienna, is mined in the USA. Okay. The Italian burnt sienna is pigment brown number 7. And that's mined in Italy. And so that's from Italy.
all the beautiful earthy tones.
Yes, very beautiful. Pompeii red is again pigment brown number 7. There's a lot of pigment brown number 7. That's where the body that puts the colors put it into for that pure pigment, and that's mined near Pompeii. And the rare green earth. The rare green earth is very kind of subtle green. And that's made from various oxides. I didn't put the oxides because we'd have, end up having 30 or 40 colors. But that one is an oxide. And the last one is a Terra Verte. Yeah, Terra Verte. And that is again pigment, that's pigment green number 18 with pigment brown number 7. It's a viridian pigment plus a raw umber pigment. So we can see what those look like. I don't think my Facebook is updating. Flip this, you can see what I'm doing here. Video. That should flip it. Let me see this again. I just want to try. Hey, are you having comments come across on Facebook?
Yeah.
Hey, are you having comments come across on Facebook?
Yeah.
There, I just need to. Okay. We have. So I got questions traveling, and people will say, can you make an espresso or coffee, use coffee? And we don't do those because they would be extremely fugitive. And in naming conventions, we don't name using those because we name using the creator of that particular color we're looking at. So there's no confusion. So this is raw sienna, this is Italian burnt sienna, and this is Pompeii red. So Sue asked, what is the topic today? Today we're looking at some of the siennas and ochres. So these would have been something that artists hundreds of years ago would have found within where they lived, which makes them very, very popular. This is rare green earth. Maybe not so much this one because this is an oxide. And then this is Terra Escalona. It's a pretty color. I like the ochres and the siennas. I think they're just really pretty. Gabriel's doing them and Giovanni's doing them.
Mm.
They're pretty non-staining.
Yeah, here we go, look them up. The fifth one is Terra Escalano. Okay,
Hello, Jen's just gonna mow the lawn.
okay, so the next five, we're gonna have Italian deep ochre,
Fancy palette you have, John.
yeah, it's the plastic I've been using for like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Those porcelain ones are, they're really nice, but they're hard to get my fingers in those tiny little wells to clean it. And I'll tell you each one of these as well. Are you in California right now? Still, or are you in
No, I'm still in Berzica packing the house. Great fun.
I was gonna say that's a fun time and also a very sad time, isn't it?
Don't tell me about fun. I'm not having any.
Well, it's fun that you get to move back to California, but sad that you leave a place you love.
I know, yes.
With
But
usually,
I will be close, so it's not going to be
Yeah.
12 when I'm watching you.
there we go. I like that. So this is gonna be the time.
California, Stella.
Excuse me?
Welcome to California.
Oh, thank you. Close to the kids.
That's nice. I'm in Southern California, so you'll enjoy it.
I am in North California, close to Sacramento. I saw Tina coming from Sacramento.
Okay, all right. Oh,
I went to school at UC Davis, which is about 12 miles away from Sacramento.
Yep.
And then I lived in Huntington Beach, which was Southern California. I like both of them have their beauty.
Yeah, I want clouds and storms and 4 seasons.
Ah. I could live without snow.
I'm North Washingtonian in my heart. I will always be Washingtonian.
Yeah, I leave US when it starts to get cold and where you find some snow to go to, usually first spot is Germany, where it's cold and snowing. So
Yeah.
I thought I would miss out on it, but no, I just go to a different part of the world that has it. And then I'll tell you what these are. Oh, you probably already guessed what they are. That's a really pretty one. Hello, Besnick.
Oh, that's a switch. Beautiful color.
Okay. So for the first one, we have Italian deep ochre, followed by burnt sienna light, followed by burnt sienna, English red earth. Thank you, Greg. And then burnt yellow ochre. That's actually burnt yellow ochre.
It doesn't show very well on the screen, John.
No, it's these cameras. It's there's no control to get rid of the auto adjust on it. So Italian deep ochre. Italian deep ochre is pigment yellow number 43. And that's mined in Italy. And then we have burnt sienna light. And burnt sienna light is a synthetic. And it's pigment red number 101 and pigment orange 48, similar to Winsor Newton. And then we have here, this is burnt sienna. And burnt sienna is pigment brown number 7. This is mined in the USA. And it's just a burned version of the raw sienna pigment. So we take the raw sienna pigment, we put it into a furnace, we burn it, and that's what we use for the burnt sienna. And then we have the English red ochre, or English red earth. And the English red earth is pigment red number 101. And it's red earth mined from England. So I just saw Sue proudly on the side from London. Hi, Sue. And this is from your part of the world. And the last one we have is burnt yellow ochre. And the burnt yellow ochre. Each one of these here so I can read it to you. Burnt yellow ochre is pigment red 102. And we burn that from our yellow ochre. So we take yellow ochre, we put it into a furnace, we change the oxidation state, and we use that pigment to make the burnt yellow ochre. So it's called burnt yellow ochre because we use the yellow ochre, but it just changes the oxidation state and it makes this red. So when you think it may be yellow, it's not really. It's almost like the tiger's eye and the burnt tiger's eye. You know, the tiger's eye is that really pretty kind of gold. And then if you put it into a furnace, it becomes a really pretty kind of red. And it's just changing the oxidation state. Okay, so that's those 5. So it was nice to meet you and Bologna too. A little harder to pick these up. I think I need to invest in one of those sponges. Hello, Hans. Okay, so that's those. That's those 5. So Giovanni, can you tell us about yours?
Oh, yeah, sure. I selected the 3 color, the Italian deep poker, Queen Sienna and Bar Amber, and like little zoom. Okay. Power of the light. And mixing with the rare green earth for the shadows. It's very interesting for the birch.
Oh, very cool.
Thank you. Italian deep poker is very popular in my painting because with the same Italian Venezia red applied for the grisaille, for the warm background before. One of the color used for this.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the red green earth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now waiting for the dry for more detail. This is the mix. Plus green earth. Very beautiful combination.
Oh, that's pretty.
The shadow, the red green earth. The rare green earth is with this 3 color created this very interesting tone of gray, earth gray, very beautiful. It continues. Oops, sorry.
Gio, Trina
Yeah.
has a comment here with your color palette. She said, you know, make her wish for fall.
Mhm.
Those lovely colors on
Yeah.
her trees.
Absolutely. I have this part of version near in my house during the autumn. Okay, little waiting for dry.
Okay. So thank you. This is burgundy red ochre. It's a pretty color.
So beautiful.
Pretty, pretty.
So of the ochres and the siennas or the umbers for all of you, do you have a favorite that you like? Like a go-to? Wow, that's kind of interesting. That's raw umber. Raw umber. So Sandy from Auburn, Hans from Combo. Fired red ochre.
John, there's a beautiful message from Maureen to you and our brand ambassadors who have and artists who have been helping us, especially during Thursday Live. It's in the chat. So can I read this, John?
Yes, of course.
So Maureen, thank you for this message and reading so that our guests in Facebook gets a chance to hear at least what Maureen has written here. So Maureen said, this is her way of thinking. Also, some of the brand ambassadors and other paint swatches of the pigments at the same time, as John does each, helps bring a new understanding of the colors and pigments as we showcase them. And appreciative of the opportunity to make requests, color mix requests. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Marie. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so now I'll tell you what they are. It's probably guess what they are. So here we have burgundy red ochre. And then we have, you can see my thumb right here, raw umber. And this is fired gold ochre. This is French ochre. And this is Mattiamiata. So on the burgundy red ochre, it's mined in Burgundy, France. So Burgundy, France. It's pigment red number 102. And it's burned from burgundy yellow ochre pigment. So that's where that comes from. And this one is the raw umber. And raw umber is again pigment brown number 7. As you kind of hear, there's a lot in the pigment brown number 7 because that's where the majority of all these pigments are put as a family. So this one's pigment brown number 7. This is mined in the USA. And then this one right here is fired gold ochre. And fired gold ochre is pigment red 102. And we burn this here at Daniel Smith as part of our yellow ochre. So we take our yellow ochre, we put it into a furnace, and we get fired gold ochre, this one. The next one is French ochre. And the French ochre is pigment yellow number 43. And that's mined in France. And the last one is Mattiamiata. And do I even have Mattiamiata to write that one down? I didn't write Mattiamiata down, but I will tell you about that one. So let's wet these out.
John, this is Sandra. I have a question and maybe a little off topic, but it's been kind of on my mind.
Yeah.
When you mentioned like phthalo blue, red shade, pick a blue, red shade or blue shade, what makes it like a blue or red, the phthalo blue or red shade? I'm always confused about that. Thank you.
It's the manufacturer of that pigment. They're synthetic pigments. So it's the manufacturer. It's not really made for the art world. It's made for really for industry. And some industry wanted that particular shade. And so that's what the pigment company made for them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I'm glad they make it for us. They're absolutely gorgeous. In fact, the group was talking about that earlier today about phthalos and the spelling of phthalo. You know, it's got that
Yeah.
P in it. They're just so widely used. There's just huge amounts of them made every year.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this one really, really is non-staining. That's amazing. Yeah. And I think somewhere on there, let's see, I think, Gabriel, are you painting some out right now?
Yes, John, of
So can we see yours real quick?
course.
Real.
As soon as I come on screen. All right, so right here, dun, 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 we have raw sienna up here at the top. And then next to that, we've got some lunar violet. So what I wanted to do is, if I want to see what this lunar violet's gonna do around these colors. Now next we have raw sienna light. There we go. So it's got a little bit of that lunar violet in there. Then we've got some quinacridone siennas right here. Next to that, we've got some sepia. Caroline was talking about how she likes some sepia. So I wanted to see how sepia would play with that quinacridone sienna. Next, we have some burnt sienna light right next to it. And we can see how that burnt sienna looks, not just next to the sepia, but over here next to my good friend cobalt teal, or actually cobalt turquoise. So then we got a little splatter of some cobalt turquoise in there. And my brain is just thinking about when I'm over here at, we've got Sunset Cliffs over here in Ocean Beach. So over here, we've got the Italian burnt sienna, and it's totally different than the burnt sienna light, as we can see next to, and the reason I'm thinking the cobalt turquoise, because that's a nice color for our oceans here. So this would look quite lovely, the three of these playing together nicely down by the beach. Next, we have down here on the bottom, we've got some ochres. We got Verona gold ochre, which I already miss Verona, Italy. So I love that color. And then we've got burgundy, yellow ochre. Next to that, we've got the good old French French ochre. So not the same. These are totally different. And then right next to that, we've got Italian deep ochre. Quite lovely. I might have skipped one somehow. I apologize. We got fire gold ochre, which is totally different than the sienna. Do you see that? Just even the way it plays on that paper, comparing the two of these here. And actually, I apologize. That was English red ochre right above. Now I've taken some two mixes here, and we've got a raw sienna and we've got a ochre here. And I'm mixing it with the cobalt teal blue, and you can see it makes two different greens. Even though I would categorize these as two warm yellowy colors, they make two different greens with the same color that I'm using for blue. Now, just for giggles, and I'm trying to see if I can do this, but I'm trying to paint a painting by going in this combination here with this landscape here. So I'm going to start building up this painting in this order. And this is where the real magic begins, where you're going to explore and meet new things and really keep yourself just growing with watercolor. That's my opinion.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Gabriel, real quick, what was the color to the right of the cobalt turquoise?
So this cobalt turquoise here, to the
Yes.
right, we have Italian burnt sienna.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Mark, are you doing anything today? I mean, I know you do lots of stuff, but are you painting house anything today?
I just swatched out some of my older earth tones that I had. I can show you that.
Wow.
Very cool.
Some of them are the prima text, but yeah, it's amazing the various tones and different browns. You think like brown is brown, but no way. There's just so much variety and so much life in them. And so yeah. And I was thinking, why am I getting hungry? Then I realized it looks like a box of chocolates.
Very cool. Very good. Thank you.
Nice,
I
Mark.
have a painting using some of the siennas and browns that I did a while ago. Thought I'd like to share.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Well,
leaves
Belle.
too.
Good
Yeah.
evening, Bella.
I love the
Very
greens.
nice, Belle. Very
I
cool.
did it
Very
in
nice.
2013 and I could not tell you what the colors are.
Beautiful.
Only that I love them. I'm in love with the siennas and the burnt oranges and
Love you, Belle.
Love
Very
the
nice.
hint of
Very
the
nice.
hint of
Very
green
nice,
there, Belle. I love the hint of green as well.
And Belle, you make that apron look really amazing.
Yeah, she likes me.
Yes.
I
Thank
wish
you.
I made my apron look that cute.
Thank you, Belle.
You're
So
welcome.
here we have, this is sienna. This is raw sienna light. And raw sienna light is pigment yellow 42. And it's similar to Winsor Newton. It's a synthetic. So this is synthetic. And this is burgundy yellow ochre. And the burgundy yellow ochre is pigment yellow 43. And that's mined in Burgundy, France. And then we have the goethite, which is brown ochre. And that's pigment yellow 43. And that's mined in the Ural Mountains. So that's mined in the Ural Mountains. That's our place. And then we have German greenish raw umber. German greenish raw umber. And German greenish raw umber is pigment red number 7 and mined in Germany. So the majority of these are either going to be a pigment red or a pigment brown, and usually pigment brown number 7 because they throw almost all of them into that classification. And the last one, burnt umber, is really it's almost black on the screen, but it's not. It's just here in front of me. It's just really awesome. You can kind of see a little bit till the camera tries to correct it. It's really cool, kind of beautiful brown.
It's lovely.
It's very pretty. And the burnt umber is pigment brown number 7, mined in the USA. So you can play with the border on those and take some of it out.
John, you should have Angus McEwen here showing all his browns he uses. They're absolutely amazing.
He is, yeah, he's such an awesome painter, such a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Awesome painter.
Yeah, so those that don't know him should look him up because he uses browns in such a clever way with all these beautiful woods and atmospheres that he creates in his artworks.
Yeah, his last artwork, it was difficult to see. I had to look at it like 5 or 6 times to just figure out that it wasn't really just a photograph. It was so perfect the way that wood looked. And Angus is doing, they're having a big show in Scotland in January. I think it goes January and February. It's a really big show. So there we go for those.
I have a question for you, John.
Yes.
In Australia, there's a beach called the Coloured Sands Beach, and it's got so many different colours along the ocean front. Do pigment colours come from sand mining or only from heavier, I don't know, muds as opposed to sand?
Very few things are going to be from the sands. There's no concentration there, and they have just unbelievable. There's quartz inside. I mean, there's just things that are just unbelievable to process. So I would think just about nothing would come from the sands in terms of pigment.
Right.
Because you can't get that concentration. As I'll show you one that I took that was.
Okay, that's interesting.
They are beautiful for certain. I'll show you one I took a picture of. Here we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, maybe. This is from a sand dune in Namibia. And
wow.
Because you're so right on that the sands are just so gorgeous.
Beautiful.
But nothing would come out if we process it. It'd just be totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Look like quartz on them.
Yeah, but they are just gorgeous to look at. And this is from these are from the sand dunes off the coast of Namibia. Kind of like that. So yeah, very beautiful. Okay, last 5.
Nice, Gabriel.
It's totally something totally different than it's in my repertoire.
Wow, beautiful.
It almost looks like a valley that's partially on fire.
Yeah.
That's what I love about art. It's open to interpretation.
Yep.
It can get me in trouble.
That is cool. Wow.
I literally took this group of paint that I did here, and I layered each one
The
coming.
same order? Did you lay them in the same order,
Yes,
Gabriel? Okay.
I did.
Wow.
Looks like autumn in Arizona. It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Mhm.
I didn't know Arizona had autumn, but I do now.
Well, they do down in like Oak Creek Canyon. They get some color down there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Road trip.
Gabriel, what paper do you use to paint that on? What
Uh,
brand?
the one key is 100% cotton, and the next key is cold press, something with a nice texture. And I just grabbed this one in the junk pile that I couldn't tell you
Okay.
which brand this one is, just because actually I think I even painted it on the back.
Okay. Great, great recycle. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question.
Wow.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's the raw umber violet.
Ah,
Really,
nice.
it's really pretty. So this one is the Verona Gold Ochre. So Verona Gold Ochre, pigment yellow 43, and that comes from or by Verona, Italy. So Italy and France have quite a few. And so this one is Italian Venetian red. And Italian Venetian red is pigment red 101, mined in Italy. And this is Terra Verte. And Terra Verte is pigment green 18 and pigment brown number 7. So it's Viridian pigment plus raw umber pigment. So Viridian plus raw umber. And then this is yellow ochre. And yellow ochre is pigment yellow 43, and that's mined in the USA. So they're going to have ochres and siennas and umbers all over the world. So, you know, we pick the ones that we like and the purity levels that we like, but you would find them all over the world. And this last one is the raw umber violet. It's really pretty here. It's not too far off on the screen, actually. That camera's not really messing with that, which is very pretty. So the raw umber violet is pigment brown number 7 with pigment violet number 19. So it's raw umber cooled with a touch of quinacridone violet. That's that one. And that is all of, it's not all of them, it's all that we picked here today. That's what went over today. And hopefully you saw something that you liked.
Wow.
So one way to play with all the colors is the very large dot card. The dot card has all 266 colors on it. Plus, I believe it incorporates the 22 gouache as well. So it's an easy way to play with colors to see kind of what you like. The interesting that I found here when I was playing with these colors today, I'll flip this camera. There we go. The interesting thing is tactically how they feel. I think that's something that's it's usually overlooked when people think about artists. They'll say, well, artists are very visual, and of course you're super visual, but there's a huge tactile part of that as well. And you know, I could feel the different colors feel different, you know, because it's how much the pigments lock, and some of the umbers lock really hard. So they're a little bit, you really have to push them to get them into solution. So it's very interesting. I think pigments and the colors are just super wonderful, and playing with them, and you know, doing draws like Giovanni and Gabriel and Mark and others that are watches, just pretty to see what you can come up with, just playing with the colors. I was here, well, I don't draw, and it's like, you don't have to really draw to have fun. Sometimes it's just fun watching colors and seeing what colors do. Cool. Well, thank you all for
Thank you, John.
Thank you for the question, Lori. So please join next week, and we have an artist tomorrow. We always have an artist from somewhere. So we have an artist tomorrow, Friday. I hope you can join. Otherwise, I hope you're enjoying the sun, or if you don't like the sun, that you're enjoying somewhere cool inside. And see you all next time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, John.
Tomorrow.
See you
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
Ashley.
Everyone,
Bye.
thanks again.
In Seattle, where it's 90 degrees. It's only 78 here in Shelton,
Wow.
but we
I
just
see,
had
yeah.
a great big fire too, so.
Yeah, I could live with that.
Bye all.